What's up, guys? Welcome to Bro Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Arps in ElectraX. And if you aren't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it does help me out a lot. So let's just get started in here. So the first thing you want to do is go to initialize your just everything. All right, initialize your plugin, and basically want to click this and go all the way up. I don't know if you can see that on mine, and go to reset all, and it's going to reset all the settings. And everything I will show you in here does translate over to any other VST, as long as they have the same, things like oscillators and arpeggiator feature. So it does, you can use these tips in this video for any VST. So first thing we want to do is shape our sounds. All right, so what we're gonna do is click down here. Now you could use other stuff. You can use samples, custom waves, even some analog, but we're gonna stick with wavetables for now to keep it simple. So you could choose any one of these, but I just start with like sine waves. Okay, so we're gonna start with that one. Now mine is already set to the left, so yours might be like this, and it's gonna give you a very, very harsh sound. So you might want to pull it down all the way to the left, and when you pull this to the left, it tends to sound better. So I'll just play it. I just made a melody here, and I'll play that for you. So, okay. Okay, so in this video, I'm not gonna do anything crazy like modulate and connect and use like the matrix and stuff. I'm just gonna keep it simple. All right, so that you can really get into this right now. All right, so let's pull this down, and then you have your octave, and I'll play that. So let's leave it at 1. So you could choose whichever one that you want. Let's not mess with this stuff right now. This, in the middle, just leave that alone. Okay. So now we can come over here, and we're just kind of go in order. And this is basically your EQ. So if you pull this down, it's going to cut off. Okay, now yours might be on bypass and it's not going to do anything. So click here, and then this is just low pass, high pass, and bell. And these are the only ones I usually use. These I just use for like specific things. If I just want to be creative and I just want to modulate and do all this stuff, that's what I use these for. But usually I just stick to this. So we could do 18 dB low pass, and then basically the lowest one is going to give you a smoother curve, and the higher dB is going to give you a sharper one. So let's do a smooth one, and then I'll show you what that does. All right, and then you have this stuff, but let's not really mess with that right now. So now let's move over to the arpeggiator, and this is how you make it an ARP. Duh. So we're gonna turn this on by clicking off, and then you have all these options. Now my favorite ones are like alt down, pop 2, and sometimes down. So you can choose whichever one that you like. I'm gonna just use alt down, and then it's on right now. So I'll play it. Okay, so it's on trigger right now, and you can read the descriptions for that, but I just put it on song. Like every time I just put it on song, so it plays my notes and everything. All right, and you can change the BPM. I think the lower is it goes faster, as you can see. Want to make some Mario type beats? There you go. It's slower, 1/4. Okay, so I just leave it on 1 BPM usually, and I'll just kind of edit it. So this is like actually putting your notes down. All right, so if you don't have anything here, see it doesn't play anything there. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to explain this. Basically this here, all right, if you click here, this is the velocity. If you click this, it's not going to play. All right, it's nothing there. So this is the lowest velocity, highest velocity. This right here stands for release, so it's going to give you kind of a stop sound. All right, and then these here are basically loops, so you can make it loop. All right, and then this is step. All right, so that's basically what those do. So let's put this back. And then this last row is an important row because people go crazy with this row right here, and it's annoying. So what they like to do is usually do this 7, and they want to come up to like 1, 2, and do stuff like this, right? You probably seen this. Okay, I would not recommend using any numbers but 12 and 24 and negative 24 and 12, because even if it, okay, say you just do this, right? Say this is the most that you do. You might come back later and make another beat with this preset, right? And that won't sound good depending on the scale that you use or the key that you use your beat, put your beat in. So I wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you really want to do it, but just know it's not gonna work for every beat. So I just stick with negative 12 and 12 and sometimes 24. So I guess we can leave that in there just to show, you know, demonstrate it. So now what we're gonna do is go to our envelope, and you've probably noticed the clicking. So how we get rid of that is just use this attack and just pull it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you pull it up a little bit. All right, so this doesn't really matter, this part right here, this sustain, because it's an ARP, but I usually just turn this down, pull the decay up about 1.3 or something like that. And I'll show you what that will actually do. And it'll just increase that decay on it. All right, so now let's go to settings. And the only thing that I usually mess with here is this glide. If you pull this up to about 40, it should give you a nice glide. All right, and then here you can mess with the volume, but we can leave that the same. Let's not mess with the matrix now because it's kind of getting to some advanced territory, and we can go over that in like an advanced version of this. So now let's put some effects. Now with our effects, I usually just do like some of the, like this first row, like the echo, delay, you know, the multi-tap. So you can just try, you could do vibrato. Okay, and now you can put your master effects. Now you should just do reverb real because that's the best one in my opinion. You can just turn it down just about 20. Just give it some depth. So I mean, that is how you make an ARP. That's pretty much it if you just want to stop here. Okay, so now we're gonna make it a little bit more dynamic. Okay, so we're gonna add another synth. So this is gonna be kind of a support. Sometimes it ends up being like the main part of the ARP, but you know, it is what it is. So now let's go to same things, wavetable. This time we can use one of these. So we can do sine saw, and then we could turn this all the way down. And then we can mess with our octave. So we could separate the frequencies if we just pull it down 1, and I'll just show you what it sounds like normal. All right, and you notice that clipping. So we're gonna do the same thing here, okay? And then if we want to, we could put this, make this an ARP 2. Let me see, make sure we've done everything up here. We don't really need to mess with this too much, but I guess we can just do it just to, you know, get some practice. All right, so now let's do the same thing, song. And for this one, I'm gonna use a slower BPM because I don't want there to be too much movement between the two sounds. Okay, so now let's play it. All right, so I'm gonna turn the sustain down because I don't want it to play all the way through. Turn the decay up about 1.3. All right, and let's just see what this sounds like. And you can even pull the attack up some more. just kind of soften it up a bit, kind of give it that pad feel. So now we can add some effects. So you could do like chorus. Just add some different effects. All right, so I like that. It's very ambient. Might turn this mix down just a bit. And we can mess with this stuff later at the end. So now we have this sound. So now what I like to do is add a third sound. All right, and we're gonna modulate on this one, so you just know how to do it. Let's think. Let's see. We can just mess around on this one. If you want to use a different type of, synth or whatever, you can. I'm just click through. I'm gonna turn this down so it's not loud. All right, so we could do that, and we could try pulling up an octave. All right, so I don't like that. So we might need to adjust this later, but usually what I do with this is just put it in the background. So we could make this an ARP as well. We can like turn it up maybe. Now, if you're gonna do something like this, I would really recommend like putting some effects. I'm just right now just kind of showing you some things. So pull this decay up, do something like that. So now with this, I would definitely use like a delay or a multi-tap, something like that. We could try ping pong and pull the mix up. All right, so I'm gonna show you some EQ stuff real quick. So what we want to do is go to this knob, and if you pull it up about, this should be good. Now you're gonna have two EQs to work with. So I'm gonna go to the second one and take out some low end and go to the high pass and just take out just a little bit. Okay, so that's good. So now the top one, you could kind of, if you want to, you could even modulate it, and we can do that. So make sure we get a good sound with the modulation though. And I really want to showcase the modulation real quick. So all right, so I don't want to get into a bunch of this stuff. Let me see, make sure this is. All right, so it's not really changing like I want it to. It's probably just because of the sound that I picked, but what we can do, I'm gonna just do it anyway. So what we can do, I just usually set it to the middle. You can right click, and to modulate, you just gotta read pretty much. A lot of people, they make it harder than it is because it's, it's a lot of weird symbols and stuff, but just look, okay, LFO, you got LFO down here, and you're on LFO 1. So up here, you can go, okay, LFO 1, boom. So now this will be modulated, okay? You can change the speed. All right, and what I did is put it on song, and I'm telling you, the song, when you put it on song, it just sounds so much better. Sometimes when you put on trigger, and that goes for this, the arpeggiator too, the song just sounds better to me. So I put it on song, and it's a lot more smooth now. So, I'll play that real quick. All right, and this knob here will basically just adjust the size of the modulation, like basically the lowest frequency, and the highest frequency that it'll go to. So it'll be really short here. You see it's not moving that much. If you pull it all the way up, all right, so now it's just kind of balancing the sounds out. So now I'm gonna pull this volume up. You can turn down the EQ just a bit, the low EQ. And now you just kind of adjust the volumes, and I just pull them all the way down and bring them in. All right, so I like that, and I might take some low end out of this. The first one we did, just some. Okay, so now we're finished with our ARP. So now I'll play it with like the beat, and here you go. All right, so that's pretty much how you make an ARP. That's like a basic ARP. I know we did kind of a lot, but that's like the basic ARP if you want to make it at least dynamic. And we can go through some more advanced stuff. If you want to see that, just let me know down in the comments. And these type of ARPs are really good for like gross beats. So just keep that in mind. You know, you throw some gross beat on it, it might sound, you know, but that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this helped you out, learn a little bit of sound design. Like I said, we're gonna get into some more stuff later, some more advanced stuff, like we're gonna mess with the matrix and stuff, and I'll even do other VSTs. But make sure you hit that like button and that sub button, especially if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.